And opinions expressed by participants in the following public affairs program do not necessarily reflect the position or beliefs of WDEF or its staff.
This is Point of View, celebrating a world record-breaking 62 years of quality public affairs programs from the studios of WDEF News 12, Chattanooga.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on Point of View. I'm Donna Christian Lowe, alongside Ruth Carter Hickman, and today we're talking about transportation. Everyone needs to get somewhere, right?
Right.
So first we're going to start introducing our wonderful guests today, wonderful, powerful guests, women guests. First is Lisa Marinano, who's with the Executive Director of CARTA Transportation. And then we have Leslie Rupert, who is the newly appointed Deputy Administrator for Chattanooga Department of Transportation. Yep. And last but not least, we have Angela Roper, who is with the International Towing Museum. Yes. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us today. So we're going to start with you, Lisa. The first thing is, what is CARTA? We think everyone knows about CARTA, but what is CARTA and what is your role with CARTA?
Well, I'm the executive director with CARTA. I've been with CARTA for almost 6 years now, but I've been in transportation for 35 years. CARTA is the public transportation authority for the city of Chattanooga and parts of Hamilton County. We provide the fixed route transportation, paratransit transportation, which is for the folks with disabilities. We operate the parking authority. We operate the incline. We have an electric vehicle car share program that we just launched yesterday. So we have many modes of transportation available for folks to choose their method to get to work, to school, wherever they need to go.
So a lot going on with CARTA. But now, one question. How do you guys address the challenges with transportation? Lighting, no 24-hour access. Some routes don't actually run in areas where people are needing transportation. What are you doing to tackle those challenges?
Well, CARTA right now, in order to be to serve folks like in East Ridge or Red Bank or other areas outside of Chattanooga, those communities have to join and be a member of CARTA because they have to provide budgetary support for the services. So back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of those communities were members, but when the budget cycles hit and everybody had to cut budgets, that was one of the first things that they would cut. So we're working on getting the Red Banks, the East Ridges, the Cedar Mountains, the Lookout Mountains, more of Hickson, a lot of the other areas in Hamilton County to come back in. But again, it's a budgetary issue. So, you know, that's always difficult when you have very limited funds and how to prioritize with that.
Sure. So Lisa, as a transplant from California, I'm new to Chattanooga, so what plans do you have, because the city continues to grow, and so do all these outsiders coming in, so what is CARTA doing to help manage that?
Well, I mean, we have the electric shuttle downtown, electric shuttle, which is a big piece for the folks that come in. A lot of the folks moving into downtown, the activity down there is enormous. So we have a free shuttle downtown, which helps folks get used to taking the bus, getting on and off the bus. We also have a travel trainer who will work with folks who are nervous about taking the bus and don't know how to do that. So they'll meet you at the beginning point and take you right to the end, show you how to use your fares, how to pay, where you need to get on and off, how you need to transfer. So that's a really big piece that I don't think people know that we offer that service. A lot of what we do is just, you know, habit for us. So sometimes we don't tell our story very well, and I know that's one of the areas we need to improve on. As far as the transplants go, obviously I am not from here. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, lived my whole life in Massachusetts, except for the last 5 years here. So I understand how you need to get about and learn how to use things. We have multiple resources for information, from your smartphones to just texting capabilities to our schedules to our website. We're on Transit app, Google Transit, we have a bus tracker. So we have multiple ways that you can get information and know where your bus is going to come, how long it's going to be to get there, multiple ways.
You mentioned smartphones, and I know Donna and I have a smartphone, but what about those people that don't have smartphones?
Well, we worked with Causeway and we developed software for anybody who has texting capabilities on their phone. So if you don't have a smartphone, as long as you have texting capability, if it's a flip phone, you can still get the same information. And all that information is available on our website so that you can see how you can get that.
So one quick thing for us. What one significant change has CARTA made over the last 5 years? Because the city has grown, as Ruth has said, but what is one significant change we can see in CARTA?
I think that providing the service out to Enterprise South Industrial Park for folks to be able to get to and from work has been a big, big piece. We met this morning with the folks out there at VW, Gestamp, Plastic Omnium, to talk about how we can further enhance that relationship and get people who need the jobs out there using transportation instead of their cars, so we can reduce the congestion and the problems out there for the traffic.
I've been talking to a lot of people too, and one of the questions was, Carter seems pretty scary. So how do you address that? If they're afraid to ride, how do we get them on the bus?
It's a very safe. We have cameras on all our buses. Our drivers are trained for that. We have free Wi-Fi on all the buses, so you can sit there in the morning, have your coffee, check your emails, read your newspaper. The buses are very, very, very safe. There's no issue with that whatsoever. The issue that we're having is on the lighting when you get off the bus. So we're trying to work with the city, CDOT. We have a couple of programs going now to enhance some of the stops, some of the ADA stops, add some lighting, add some shelters. And then the last 17 shelters we just installed all have cameras and lighting in them. So that's kind of the mode that we're going to.
Okay.
Well, Leslie, we're going to jump to you now. You have a big role, and you've just started.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
But let's tell everyone, what is Leslie Rupert's role as Deputy Administrator of Transportation? We know you're not here to fill all the potholes, so let's talk about bigger things than that today.
Okay.
What is your role?
As you said, I'm the new Deputy Administrator with the department. And I'm really focusing on internal processes to make sure that we have workflows for all the things that we do, and where are the areas that we can work to improve our workflow to make sure that we're having the best solution. And then also strengthening the partnerships like with CARTA, and then also within the city we also often work with Public Works on things like potholes, like you said.
Yes.
And I'm also working with our capital side to really work on improved project management for implementation.
So speak about one of those capital projects, MLK biking. Do we need another bike trail, another bike route in Chattanooga?
I think you have to look at the entire city and look at the network. So it's not just about like one street having a bike lane or not having a bike lane. It's really about like how do we offer options, like Lisa had mentioned, to all the residents and visitors that come to Chattanooga. We know that this is the #1 town in America and people want to be here. So we need to make sure that we're meeting the needs of people that want to come here, stay competitive with the region, which one of the things is offering modal choice. So one way to do that is implementing things like bike lanes. Road diets help improve the safety by slowing down the traffic and make it more about placemaking than just offering service to one mode.
How does the city determine what projects to work on?
That's a great question, and I think it's something that people are really confused about, and it's something that we could work on as a transportation to communicate better. So with transportation project development, there's a rich history of like how does a program come together. Part of it is there's obviously the federal regulations and mandates of like the bigger picture of national policies for what do we want. So then the state also creates a picture of what does Tennessee want to do. And so, but Chattanooga specifically, we're within a region, so we work with our regional agency to make sure that they're doing planning, and then how do we specifically work towards that vision, and then obviously I think Mayor Burke had a great vision for creating the department, and so really working within his vision too. So our program fits into the broader picture of visions. We need to know what types of money are available and how to apply for that to implement it.
Well, we're going to move to the next guest. All of this is exciting, but this is really exciting. So Angela Roper with the International Museum of Towing. I didn't know there was one, so I have to apologize, but tell me and tell the viewers, what is that museum about?
It is the only one in the world, #1. Wow. We are celebrating our 100th year of towing this year because the tow truck was actually first patented right here in Chattanooga. And that's why the museum is based here in Chattanooga. So it is a building that has full of antique vehicles. From the 1916, the first replica of the first patented tow truck that Ernest Holmes Sr., who is from Chattanooga, his garage was actually located down on Market Street, where the Market Street parking garage is. That was his actual garage. So because of him, we put the actual museum here. So it houses vehicles from 1916 up until 1995 is the latest model we have in there right now. So it encompasses all of that, and every industry has a story to tell. Transportation does. So that's our story, and that's why we are here. And it's a great tourist attraction, something a little different than what most people would see going to any other city. So that's
what are the challenges that the towing company and the industry face?
Professionalism. You know, if we don't police ourselves, the government will. So that is definitely training, another one. That's a big issue for us. You know, we lose one tower every 6 days in the line of duty on the roadways. And so in doing that, because most people don't realize we are responders, and just like police and fire and DOT workers, you know, people don't move over, and that's an issue for us. So we need public awareness, we need training, and we need to be a little more professional.
Well, you guys have a lot going on that the community doesn't know about. Ruth and I found that out through our research. You
Yes.
actually have a venue, so people can come and rent the venue. Talk about that a little bit.
We actually have an event center in the downstairs half of the museum. It'll seat about 150 people, has a catering kitchen, it has a couple of tow trucks in it, and they have access to the upstairs if they wanted to. But we house quite a few local clubs around town to come there and have their events there. Anybody can come. We have groups, bus tours that come through. So yeah, it's
Angela,
great.
what's the latest event you guys just had?
This past weekend, we actually had our 100th year well, it was the 100th year celebration of the towing industry, but every year we have a Hall of Fame induction. There is actually a Tow Truck Hall of Fame. And so we have Hall of Fame where we induct individuals from around the world, because we're international, into that, and we inducted 9 individuals. And then we also have our Wall of the Fallen ceremony, the big statue and the brick wall over there. And in doing that, we place names on that wall every year from people who die in the line of duty. And we put 22 on that wall this year.
So we've got these great ladies on the stage, and I know you want to close with something about your company. Maybe just share 1 or 2 quick things with us. Maybe something happening with CARTA or website. What would you like to share with our viewers?
I'd like folks to go to our website. It's www.gocarter.org. And you can get all the information you need to ride transit, see what we have out there. We start at 4:15 in the morning. We run till 12:45 at night. So it's very, 3 hours in the middle of the night that we don't run. So we have multiple levels of service out there. Please visit our website to get the information you need. And if you can't get your answer there, just contact us and we'd be more than happy to help
Do
you.
you happen to know that number?
629-1473.
Wonderful. And Leslie, I know you want everyone to reach out to you. You're a new person, so what would you like to share with the viewers?
I think just that. It's really great to hear from the public. I've had a couple of opportunities just this week to meet people. It helps us do better planning when we know what people's concerns and issues are, and so that we can have the best solution.
And where can they reach out to you?
You can email me directly at lrupert@chattanooga.gov or call our main line, which I don't know.
That's
so I
okay.
apologize.
Thank you. The City of Chattanooga, I'm sure.
Yes.
And lastly, again but not least,
Come and see us. Come tour the museum.
We're
Absolutely.
coming. We are
And
definitely
come to the
coming.
venue downstairs. Come check it out. We have a lot to offer. So please, every one of you,
Yeah.
come on me. Tell them it's from me.
Yes.
Angela, and then if someone passed away that's in the towing, what do they need to do to contact you? What do our viewers
You
need
can
to
actually
do?
go to our website and you can download the application for the actual Wall of the Fallen Memorial, or we actually have a survivor fund as well too. So that's funding provided to the families, and they can do that all on our website, which is www.towingmuseum.com.
Are there any upcoming events?
No, we had one yesterday for our electric vehicle solar charging car station yesterday. So we just put 20 Nissan Leafs out there, and with solar charging all over the city and county. So people take advantage of that. That was our event for yesterday.
well, we definitely want to have each of you back again. Maybe together, maybe independent, who knows?
be
But we
great.
thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining us today
No, thank you.
on Point of View. So stay tuned next for Nikki Nicholson, who will come and join us and talk about adventure, cycling on 2 or 3 wheels, and safety.
Eric Avanier covering the stories that affect your city.
New law will impact thousands.
Stories that affect your neighborhood.
Protesters gathered last night.
Stories that impact you.
The gunshot victims just arrived at the hospital.
Eric Avanier and News 12 now. Anytime, anywhere.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Join us for Point of View, weekends on News 12 Now.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hello, my name is Nikki Nicholson, and thank you for joining me on this segment, Point of View. Today, we'll be discussing the beauty of riding on the road and doing it while being safe. Joining us today is our guest, Ken Ivey, from Pandora European Motorsports. Along with them is Catherine Shrew, who just recently got her permit to drive her motorcycle, a beginner rider. So, Catherine,
yes.
I see you have a Harley Davidson.
Yes, ma'am.
A Harley. What made you decide to want to get this bike as a woman?
Well, I'm a beginner rider,
Yes.
so I really wanted something that I felt really comfortable on. So this is an 883 Sportster, and I can, as a short lady, I can get my legs over it and feel really good. But I loved the classic styling of the Harley Davidson, and I bought into the whole family atmosphere, and I do this with my husband, and my father also has a bike, and so it's a family thing.
That's beautiful. So this is also a family thing.
Right.
Now, one thing that I would like to point out is that I was able to actually observe one of the classes of you doing as far as the training on getting your motorcycle license.
Right.
And I will say we were the only 2 women there, which can be quite intimidating.
Sure.
With that being said, can you share with us some of the obstacles that you had with the motorcycle?
Sure. Well, so we did the Chattanooga State safety course. It was my first time ever sitting on a motorcycle, and I really thought that it would be a very easy process, but it is not for the wimps. It is not for the weak of heart. Basically, you get in there and they start you from the very beginning, teaching you how to walk the bike, how to sit on the bike, how to get comfortable with the bike. And it was a great learning experience for me, just to get the familiarity of a motorcycle.
That is awesome. Now, one of the challenges that I faced while being on the motorcycle, a first-time beginner, was speed. So how are you with speed?
Well, speed to me was the fun part. So
Awesome.
my part, the hardest thing is definitely the slow riding and learning those tricky maneuvers and how to do the throttle control, how to find your friction zone. That was definitely the trickiest thing. And still, as I'm learning 4 weeks later, that for sure is the hardest probably part and most essential to be safe on a motorcycle, is learning how to maneuver in those slow speeds, especially when you're going 2 miles per hour, 1 mile per hour in a parking lot. That is definitely the trickiest part.
Yes, it is. Well, seeing that you actually encouraged your husband to take this course with you.
Sure.
And he was already a rider. He had been riding for years, and you still asked him to take the course with you. I think that is awesome.
Thank you.
Safety is first. Safety is first, and that's why I want to come on over here and talk to you, Ken. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, and you?
I am wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and just dig on into safety.
Sure.
Now, you have me adorned with this beautiful, beautiful stylish jacket. Can you tell me about it?
Right.
And why that it's important to be safe?
Well, what you're wearing is a climb jacket. It is a women's jacket. It's not just a men's jacket, it's a women's jacket. So it's tailored to fit you, not me. Now it comes equipped with D30 armor in your shoulders, your elbows, and across your back. Now, if you go off a bike, you want armor to protect yourself. Also, this is a highly abrasive Cordura, so if you slide down the road, you can still put the jacket back on and wear it again.
And save a little skin, I bet.
Absolutely.
Save a little skin.
Absolutely. It's better to sweat than bleed.
Hey, I say that any day. It's better to sweat than bleed, absolutely. Well, I want to discuss this bike right here. Now, can you tell me about this BMW?
Sure, this is the 2016 R1200 GS. And the GS model was developed back in the mid-'80s to fill a market that was not really there yet. This bike, you can crunch off 800 to 1,000 miles in a day. It's that comfortable.
Absolutely.
Then, with the ground clearance, traction control, you can hit a mountain pass. You can see that gravel road go up through the Rockies and say, I wonder where that goes. Well, with this bike, you can do that.
Awesome. Now we have actually four different type of style of bikes here in the studio today. So can you explain a few of the different riding styles for people who may be interested in trying to pick a bike?
Sure. There's the cruiser market, such as this Harley here behind you. Then you have the touring market, and you have the dual sport market. This is the big dual sport market or adventure riding market, which is the largest and fastest growing segment of the motorcycle market today.
Awesome. Well, if anyone is looking for any of these sorts of bikes, sport bikes, can you tell them how to reach you at Pandora Sports?
Sure. You can reach me at Pandora's at 423-468-4104, or you can reach us on our website at pandorasmotorsports.com.
PandoraMotorsports.com. Well, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
On the other side of the studio, it really is all about adventure, fun, and safety. Today I have with me Charlie Brown and Karen Weinthorpe. How are you today?
Just fine, just fine. How are you doing?
I'm great. Now this one right here, you can either be 2 wheels or 3. And I'm looking at 3 wheels right here. This is a beauty. Can you tell me about your bike, Charlie?
Okay, this is a 2001 Goldwing. Originally started out as 2 wheels. And there's a company that you can go to, various companies that make 3-wheel kits. And now I decided a couple of years back, I say the year 2006, I want to start riding 3 wheels after I got over my Mancho feeling of being on 2 wheels. So I ordered this kit from California Sidecar. A certified dealer has to put it on for it to be in warranty status. And ever since I've done it, I've enjoyed it. I enjoy traveling on it, back and forth to Florida, Knoxville, Kentucky, nice places up in the mountains and stuff like that. And it's just more of an enjoyable ride on 3 wheels now to me, because I don't have to worry about what I need to put my foot down to keep the bike up. That's what I enjoy.
Would you recommend this for any rider, or if you're just trying to cruise?
Well, believe it or not, I'm a avid for 3 wheels. I tell people if you get on a 3-wheel, it's hard to go back to 2 wheels. But with it said and done, the 2-wheel market is very good market to start in. So when you get to be a baby boomer like I am, I'm not far from being at that age limit where I say this is an old man's Cadillac. I enjoy riding it, and you can really have a lot of fun on it.
I love it. Well, for any new beginner riders, what type of advice would you give them who wants to go ahead and just take part in motorcycle riding?
My first advice is never forget to respect the vehicle, the operation of your machine, the safety of it, and the traffic around you. You can begin riding a bike, and it's a whole different world, but you have to remember the equipment is only as good as it is as you check it and make sure it rides good. Have on the safety equipment you need to have. Trust me, safety equipment is the first thing you need to really invest in. And always invest in a bike and have it checked and make sure if it's a new bike, you want to make sure you keep it up to par on the maintenance schedule.
So that's an important part.
Important part.
Just like you have a car, you make sure you keep it up to par, because if you take care of your motorcycle, if you respect your motorcycle will respect you. Well, Karen, now I couldn't wait to come over here and talk to you about the Slingshot. It is amazing, and it's for anybody, basically, who wants to get on the road. Now it has 3 wheels, and at first glance, it looks like a sports car, but it's a motorcycle. Can you share with the viewers what makes it a motorcycle, and tell me all the kinks and whistles about it?
Well, it's considered a motorcycle in some states, it's considered a car in some states, so it all depends on the state that you're in. However, it does have 3 wheels, whereas Charlie has 2 wheels on the back and 1 on the front. Mine's the opposite. I've got 2 wheels on the front and 1 on the back. So I've got a rear suspension like a motorcycle does with a swing arm and a belt guard on it, a belt drive, and I think yours is shaft-driven, correct?
Shaft-driven,
yeah.
yes.
So it's a motorcycle in that aspect of it. But it does have side-by-side seating. It does have seat belts. It's a 5-speed transmission, and it is a 2.4-liter dual overhead cam transmission in it, so it is a car engine. It's not a motorcycle engine. So the laws are just kind of, you know, how do we determine if this is a bike or a car? You know, every state's kind of trying to figure it out right now. They suggest you wear helmets with it. They suggest you wear seat belts with it. So just know the laws in the state in which you're driving in.
Okay, so when you say suggest, you mean that not in every state you're required to wear a helmet?
Correct, because like Florida does not have a helmet law. It's up to the rider if they want to wear a helmet. So if you go through Georgia, you have to have a helmet on. You get to the Florida line, you can take your helmet off.
So what are the rules insurance-wise?
Insurance, it's going to be up to your insurance company. My insurance company looks at it as it's a motorcycle. Therefore, it's covered like a motorcycle. So, which is really nice because it's a whole lot less expensive than a car would be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But they're a lot of fun to drive. You've got storage behind the driver and the passengers. You got a glove box in the front. You also have 2 cigarette lighters to put in your PowerPoints. You got a USB port in there to charge stuff as well. So it's
What
a lot
about
of
the
fun.
audio?
Audio in it's great. The audio in it's awesome. Just standard from factory. It's pretty loud, as you heard when we first cranked it up. And then it also has a backup camera on it as well.
I saw that, and I think the whole thing is amazing. Women, you can ride in style. You can do this. I am so excited. We're going to go take a ride later on. She's going to show me how this baby works.
Handles
But
well.
it's pretty amazing. Have you ever driven one, Charlie?
Yes, I have.
Well, tell me about
I
it.
was kind of caught off guard when I test drove the Slingshot in 2015. It was very smooth, very quick, and very agile through the curves. It's almost like driving a miniature sports car. Being that I like the concept of the motorcycle feeling with the handlebars and the front wheel and 2 wheels behind, I decided to stay with my Gold Wing and let her enjoy her Slingshot.
I still
That
have
is
my bikes,
awesome.
Charlie. I still have my bikes.
As we wrap up, I want to thank my guests for coming. I want you all to remember to ride in style and safety, and remember, women can ride. Thank you for joining us on Point of View. Tune in next week.
You can find
Closed captioning provided by the following.
Funding for this program is brought to you by Barnett & Company, specializing in tax-efficient strategies for the preservation and distribution of family wealth, offering continuous investment management with a focus on long-term strategies. Areas of service include investment, estate, education, and retirement planning. Barnett & Company, the power of compound returns over time. More information can be found on the web at barnettandcompany.com.